What is going on, everybody? My name is Baloo and welcome to the jungle. This is the channel where we take a very simple approach to technical analysis. We look at the price in the context of volume using the Wyckoff method. If that is something that interests you, then why don't you hit the subscribe button? I do this every single day, except the days that I don't. So in today's video, we're just going to do a quick update on the price of Bitcoin. I also want to take a look at one of the trades that I entered a few days ago, OMG. And I would also like to address the lack of videos in the last 4 days. I was up in the high mountains of the Sierra with very bad internet. Upload speed was like 3 megabytes. Couldn't get anything uploaded. Currently in the middle of moving out of Los Angeles, so there's a lot going on, and the market took off. And when the market takes off, I need to keep up to date with the community members inside of the Discord. So my sincerest apologies for being away from video production here on YouTube for the last 4 days, but hopefully I can get a couple videos banged out here, and we'll keep you up to date as to what I'm seeing inside of these markets for the next week or so. So let's take a look at what is going on inside of the price of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, you know, it's we are definitely in we're in a tough spot. You know, we're getting close to the all-time high. So there is a ton of psychological resistance. There's a ton of psychological supply that is up here near the all-time high. What is very likely, nothing is a guarantee, but what is very likely to happen is we touch the all-time high and get a rejection. My apologies for the vacuuming that is happening upstairs. Sorry about that. So here we are inside of Bitcoin. We are we're approaching the all-time high. So as we get closer to this all-time high, there's a lot of psychological resistance. We'll probably break through the range, and that'll be the beginning of our correction. I would not be surprised if we did get a correction somewhere around the $14,000 mark. I think that would be, you know, a very normal thing to happen inside of cryptocurrency. If we did hit the all-time high and come down to that level, we're looking at about a 30% correction. 30% corrections are very common pullbacks inside of a bull market. So we're getting close. We're getting very close to those levels where we need to be very careful. You know, you need to keep your stop loss tight. You know, you don't want to, if you're entering new positions right now, you're taking on a lot of risk, because there's not a lot of room to breathe in this area here. We have basically another, from the point of recording this video to the all-time high, it's less than 10% more. So you really don't have a lot of room to breathe here. So if you were to enter somewhere into this consolidation, I think your best bet would have been here on the spring. I did manage to get a position in on the spring here. But you know, if we hit this, it's gonna fall right through really quickly. So as we start to inch up higher, I'm going to move my stop. I'm either gonna move my stop loss or I'm gonna take my investment out, and I'm going to allow it to liquidate, the position to liquidate on my account, obviously. But what I'm looking to do is just, you know, maintain exposure but limit risk. So if I can get into a position and I can get it to a zero risk position where my net loss is nothing, you know, I get it. I can either pull out my investment or I can bring my stop loss up to break even. That way, if we do get a continuation past 20,000, we're going to see a ton of momentum, because really the whole market is going to be shorting at 20K. Tons of shorts are going to come in, and if we do maintain bullish momentum, which we kind of have to assume that we are, because we are in an uptrend, you don't get to decide where the top is. The market gets to decide where the top is. So just because we hit 20K doesn't mean anything. We could keep going to 26 before we get the supply needed to see a serious correction. It really is not up to us. So we need to maintain a bullish bias, and only when that bullish bias is disproven can we begin to flip bearish. So until further notice, we are bulls. So keeping up with the trend. Trend is your friend until it ends. So let's take a look at what is going on inside of OMG. OMG, it's looking really good. You know, again, we need Bitcoin to behave. So we did have this change of character. You know, we came down, had a huge correction, and we got a change of character right here. You know, the change direction. The price began to behave differently. That's the change of character. Okay, right here. Then we got our seller's climax in the same spot, our automatic rally, and our secondary test. Phase A. And then we are absorbing the supply throughout the range inside of phase B until we can identify a spring. The spring could be here where we fell out of the range. Not a ton of volume, but we do have this increase in volume overall. We can see the demand is starting to come in. So that transition from the decreasing demand into the increasing demand is often going to be at the spring, and the spring is the trend change where things get a lot more interesting. So, you know, things are looking really good inside of OMG. I did take a position at the mean of the trading range here. So you can see down here, we were forming a bit of an LPS here at the mean, and I took a leveraged long position there. And I'm just hoping that we hold, looking to hold above the trading range here. So if we can keep this consolidation here, we'll hopefully begin to head into phase E, which is the most exciting part. That is the markup phase of the asset, but it's looking good. Volume is really good. We have a steady decline in the volume. Supply has been absorbed, and I'm quite confident that the next move is going to be something, you know, you can't really say it's going to be just like the previous move here. But, you know, from this previous Wyckoff accumulation, we started marking up back here. It was a pretty substantial move to the upside. So, you know, we're looking at from peak to peak, nearly just over 600%. Now, I never count on anything like that. You know, I have a mantra that I try to live by, and that's don't count the gains, because you'll only get the losses. Count the losses, and then the gains will come. So if you're focused on the money that you're going to make, you're probably going to lose. You have to focus on the money that you're going to lose, and the money will come. If you're focused on the gains, you're playing an emotional game that does not work. Everything you do as a trader needs to be counterintuitive. 95+% of traders lose money, and the reason for that is because this market is designed to trick your emotions, and you need to counter trade your emotions every single day. So when you think it's going to keep going up, it's probably going to go down. When you think it's going to keep going down, it's probably going to go up. So learning risk management really strips away the magnification of the emotion that goes along with trading. You know, if you're in a small position, you're a lot less emotionally attached, and you can let the price kind of work itself out because you're not worried about that risk, or you're not worried about getting stopped out. If you have a big position, you know, you come up with a plan, you place a stop loss, but you have a big position, you know, you're not going to allow your price to even go down to the stop loss because it's too much of a loss. So learning risk management, really important. If you want to see some videos on risk management, different strategies, how to protect your investments, stuff like that, I encourage you to join the free Discord down below. We've got a ton of free content in there. There is a paid side as well where we do, you know, some of the active traders and stuff like that. Some of my analysis, and other analysts that are really killing it are inside of the paid portion of the channel. But as far as education and learning and, giving you the resources that will help you kind of cut out a lot of the noise that is common in the cryptocurrency space, I have a ton of information inside of the Discord. And it's honestly my mission to try and educate as many people during this bull run as possible so that they don't make the same mistakes that a lot of other investors made in the previous cycle. So I encourage you to come and at least say hi, come check it out. You can just come in, grab the PDFs and leave. I don't really care, but I just want to provide this information for people, for the community, so that we have smarter, more savvy investors inside of the space, because the space is growing and it's developing and we're getting a little bit more sophisticated, and what comes along with that is just, better traders. And as the traders get better, you need to be a better investor as well, because the traders and investors, they're very different. So I encourage you to join the free Discord. That is all the time I have for today. If you enjoyed the content, please leave it a like. If there are any projects that you would like me to take a look at, leave them in the comments section down below. And until next time, please trade safe. There's a jungle out there. Peace.